Yeah, we're pleased with the development of our club this weekend. You know, Lamar is a good club. You know, they won the Southland Conference tournament last year. They were playing in a regional, and they basically got everybody back. And I think when you look at their club about 30 games from now, they're going to be a good club. They have good arms, and they have very good players, experienced players. So I'm kind of shocked at what materialized today.
How comforting was it for you to see your ball club defensively make the routine plays, and especially after last year?
Well, I have a lot of confidence in this group defensively because it's the second year in for most of these guys, and we just worked so hard at that part of the game in this ballpark. So I think it is comforting. Are we going to make an error this year? You better believe it, and we got to learn how to handle that when it does happen. And it's real easy also to play defense when pitch staff yesterday has 15 strikeouts in one game. You're not getting a lot of chances defensively, and that's really what separates the good defensive clubs. They get a lot of strikeouts, quite honestly, because what happens is the contact that the club gets weak contact, and that's why pitching is everything, especially when you play in a ballpark like this.
You knocked 3 pitchers out of the game in the first inning, and is that just you guys going up there being patient?
Well, the great thing about the first inning is it's an opportunity to show, especially our young players, everything we're trying to get done. You're trying to pressure the defense with the running game. You're trying to pressure the defense with the short game right there. You're aggressive on the bases. When it matters, you get the barrel in the right spot with not a lot of effort. And everything we're trying to do offensively came in that one inning. Because I learned from Ron Polk a long time ago, big innings win baseball games, and that's just a fact. But I like to manufacture that big inning in as many different ways as you possibly can, because I'm telling you, when you're a coach on the other side, and there's a threat that the ball might leave the ballpark, a threat that a guy might run, when everything can possibly happen, it puts a lot of pressure on that defense, and that's where the errors come from. Errors don't come from just making mistakes. They come from an offense pressuring a defense, and that's what we're trying to get done.
Anything different this year out of Ogden at the plate that you've noticed?
Yeah, he's much more. He just gives us better at bats, and he just tries to do less. In some ways, I think a year ago he had small man's disease. The smaller guy tries to swing a lot harder to make up for his size. He's got tremendous strength and very quick hands, but he just puts the barrel in the right spot. And he's worked so hard. I don't know if I've ever had a player work on their stroke as hard as Jonathan Ogden. And we know he can do it defensively, and I think he's going to be better defensively this year than last year just because he doesn't have a broken foot. He ran a 3.9 on a bunt yesterday, and last year he's running 4.4, 4.5 every time because he's running on a broken foot. So he is one of the toughest kids I've ever coached, and just having him out there does so much for our ball club.
You get a lot of arms in this week, so I know you got a lot to evaluate next year or so, but how do you think this next week's shaping up pitching-wise?
I think it'll be very similar for us. We're only playing 3 games next weekend, but we have to make a decision on that third starter. We didn't want to start Evan Mitchell today, but boy, we're pleased with his development. He's a guy who's a strike thrower. He throws a second pitch in the strike zone, velocity, good slider. We're going to have to pull the trigger on that third guy, and I'm sure I really like to get stats back out there, though, because I don't think we saw who he really is today, and I don't know what was yet, but we'll get better out of him in the future, I'm sure. But I'm not 100% sure who we're going to do on Tuesday just yet, but it'll probably be about 5 or 6 guys also.